guys. Tonight I'm going to read you some facts from my favourite movie, The Shawshank Redemption. I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps you get some sleep. In the book, Ellis Boyd Redding was a ginger-haired, middle-aged Mick Harrison Ford, Clint Eastwood and Paul Newman were all considered for that role that went to Morgan Freeman. Darabont alluded to the unusual casting choice by having Red jokingly reply to Andy's inquiry about his nickname with the line, "Maybe it's because I'm Irish." Happily, they've opted to not follow the quote with the audio of a studio audience laughing. Steven Spielberg praised Shawshank by telling Darabont that the film was a chewing gum movie. If you step on it, it sticks to your shoe. The film was adapted from the Stephen King short story Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. The compilation also brought the Nazirific apt pupil and the leech-tastic the body, aka Stand By Me, to the silver screen. Rob Reiner famously directed the latter while trying and failing to do the same with Shawshank. Two women had speaking roles in the film. One chick complains about Brooke's skills as a grocery clerk, and another dame assists Andy at a bank. The book mentioned that Andy smuggled $100 in the Shawshank via his rectum, which is how he pays Red the $10 for the rock hammer. Stroh's was the brand of beer Red and the gang drank on the roof during the day, and he cleverly got them on work duty. Tom Hanks turned down the role of Andy Dufresne because he'd already committed to Forrest Gump. Although set in Maine, the prison that doubled for Shawshank is in Mansfield, Ohio. The state reformatory was abandoned and scheduled for demolition once the film was finished. Happily, it was successfully saved and became a tourist attraction that holds the uprooted oak tree where Andy buried his letter to Red, as well as his escape tunnel. The film was released in Taiwan as Fantastic, which makes sense because it came out a year later than 94 in that particular country. Darabont credited multiple viewings of Goodfellas as inspiration for using narration to illustrate the passage of time. The American Humane Association insisted that the maggots Brooke fed to his beloved crow had to have died of natural causes. In Finland, the movie was called Rita Hayworth, The Key to Escape. According to Red, Andy slogged through this much sewage before escaping, 500 yards, the length of 5 football fields, just shy of half a mile. And yet 500 yards is not even a third of a mile. In the book, Red's life term is not because of a botched robbery turned fatal shooting, but for murdering his wife by disabling her brakes, which accidentally killed a neighbour and child as well. The Marlborough that Warden Norton offers a doomed Tommy were historically inaccurate because they had a Surgeon General's warning on them, which didn't appear until the 1970s. Andy and Red's opening chat in the prison yard, in which Red is pitching a baseball, took 9 Morgan Freeman pitched that baseball for the entire 9 hours without a word of complaint. He showed up for work the next day with his arm in a sling. In the scene with Andy arriving in the library as Brooks' assistant while Brooks' crow Jake is squawking, Tim Robbins had to time his line, "Hey Jake, where's Brooks?" so that the crow wouldn't squawk over him, since the bird could not be trained to squawk on cue. Robbins was able to adapt to this and time his line perfectly by learning the bird's squawking patterns, for which director Frank Darabont praised him. Robbins' improvisation is noticeable as he watches the bird carefully while approaching it, waiting for it to squawk, and doesn't begin his line until after it does. Although a very modest hit in theatres, it became one of the most highest-grossing video rentals of all time. The mugshots of young-looking Morgan Freeman that are attached to his parole papers are actually pictures of Morgan's younger son, Alfonso Freeman. Alfonso also had a cameo in the movie as a con, shouting, fresh fish today, we're reeling him in." A year after Shawshank, Alfonso appeared as a fingerprint technician in another Morgan Freeman movie, Seven. Although it is never directly stated in the film, allegedly Brooks is in prison for murdering his wife and daughter after losing a game of poker. Stephen King sold the film rights for his novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption for $5,000. He never cashed the check. Years after Shawshank came out, the author got the check framed and mailed it back to the director, Frank Darabont, with a note inscribed, "In case you ever need bail money, love, Steve." Kevin Costner, Tom Cruise, Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp and Charlie Sheen were all considered for the part of Andy Dufresne. Costner liked the script a lot, but was then embroiled in the filming of Waterworld. Rob Reiner loved Frank Darabont's script so much that he offered $2.5 million for the rights of the script so he could direct it. Darabont seriously considered Reiner's offer, but ultimately decided that it was his chance to do something really great by directing the movie himself. The film's initial gross of $18 million didn't even cover the cost of its production. It did another $10 million in the wake of its Oscar nominations, but the film was still deemed to be a box office flop. Clancy Brown said that he received several offers from real-life corrections officers to work with him to make his portrayal of Captain Hadley more realistic. He turned them all down because Hadley was an evil character and he didn't want to misrepresent real correctional officers. One of the reasons why they didn't employ the full title of the Stephen King novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption was because there was a perception in Hollywood that this was actually going to be a biopic of Rita Hayworth. Indeed, Frank Darabont even received solicitations of audition requests from several actresses and supermodels and their agents about playing the lead. After the film gained popularity, Ted Turner sold the television rights to TNT, his own network, for much lower than normal for such a big film. Because it is so inexpensive to show, The film is broadcast on TNT extremely often. In the movie, Red said, "I committed murder," when Andy asks him why he's in Shawshank for. The source novella explains in detail, Red is serving 3 life sentences for murdering his wife, his neighbour's wife, and his neighbour's son. Red disconnected the brakes on his car in order to kill his wife to collect an insurance policy. He did not plan on the other 2 people joining his wife for her ill-fated drive. I know I read that one out already, but this one goes into it in a little bit more detail. In the close-up of Andy's hands loading the revolver in the opening scenes, the hands are actually those of Frank Darabont. Later in the film, while Andy carves his name into his cell wall, Darabont's hands are used again for the insert shot. Those close-ups were filmed during post-production, notably because Darabont felt that he could do exactly what he wanted in the close-ups. The exteriors were filmed at the defunct Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. The prison was in such poor condition, renovations had to be made prior to filming. However, most of the interiors were shot on a sound stage because they determined it would be cheaper to build duplicates of the interiors rather than renovating the interiors of Mansfield. The prison is located in the flight path of C-130 Hercules aircraft of the 179th Airlift Wing, Ohio Air National Guard, which caused all sorts of sound problems. While Mansfield locals were eager to be extras, many weren't available during the day due to their jobs, or were only available for one day, which obviously wouldn't work in a prison film, so extras were found at a halfway house, some of them real-life ex-cons. The opera song that Andy Dufresne plays over the loudspeakers is Canzonetta Solaria from Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's Marriage of Figaro. Red says he has no idea what the ladies of the Marriage of Figaro are singing about. Actually, they're composing a letter to the husband of one of them, inviting him to an assignment with the other in order to expose his infidelity. The man sitting behind Jill Bellows, Tommy Williams, on the bus is Dennis Baker, a former warden of the Ohio State Reformatory, where the primary filming took place. Shawshank Prison is a staple of Stephen King's writing, most of which is set in Maine. While it only appears in this story, several other books and short stories mention characters who were sentenced to serve time at Shawshank. Shawshank Prison is mentioned in other Stephen King movie Dolores Claiborne, 1995, when Dolores, played by Kathy Bates, yells at her husband that he will do time in Shawshank for inappropriately touching his daughter. They only mentioned the prison, they didn't show the prison. The role of Tommy Williams, which was played by Gil Bellows, was intended for Brad Pitt, who instead plumped for his role in Interview with the Vampire in the same year. has escaped. The warden wants them to question Red. When they call to open Red's cell, they shout, "Open 237. This is the same number as the room in The Shining, and the amount of change, $2.37. The four boys in Stand By Me collect between them. The number is a Stephen King trademark." Although set in Maine, the success of the movie helped boost the fortunes of Mansfield, Ashland, and Upper Sandusky, Ohio, 3 towns that share 13 sites used as locations. Tourism has increased every year since Shawshank had its premiere, and according to the Mansfield-Richland County Convention and Visitors Bureau, the movie brought in more than 18,000 visitors and produced an estimated $3 million boost to the local economy in 2013. Tim Robbins initially refused to immerse himself in the muddy water of Andy's escape tunnel after a chemist tested the water and dubbed it lethal. In the end, he dived in and got it done. The water wasn't great, but actually what he was crawling through was a mix of sawdust, chocolate syrup, and water. Some fans who visit the site say they can still smell chocolate. Four different pin-up posters adorn Andy's cell in the novella. Jane Mansfield, Linda Ronstadt, Hazel Court, and Rita Hayworth. In the film, just 3 feature: Rita Hayworth, Marilyn Monroe, and Raquel Welch. And that's all I got. So I hope you enjoyed. Sweet dreams.